Hello and welcome to the Bodysurf podcast with your budgie boys. Just Tim here this week for an episode of Between the Sets with a very special guest co-host. It's Big Robs. How you doing, mate?
G'day. I wanted my thing. I was working on that on the drive in.
We don't rehearse here, mate. No. We don't practice. We just hit record and let's see what happens, I guess. But we actually do have a run sheet. It's pretty impressive.
Mate, I came in, professional setup, new setup. I love it. And yeah, I'm excited about the run sheet. This is like almost a professional podcast.
What is not professional about it?
You have highlighted on yours. I don't have any highlight yet. You know, I'd like some notes.
There's a thing in radio that everyone highlights with green, so that's why I wrote your name with green highlighter. Yeah, mine's a bit highlighted. I can't read, so I don't know how I'm going to do with this.
We won't read it off. It's like cue cards. You know, little palm cards in high school.
How you been, by the way?
Great, mate. So good.
It's good to have you here. You're filling in for Owie, who's about to have a kid.
Yeah, he's a duh. Almost a dad. He's a duh.
Right.
Yeah, when that baby comes out, he'll be finally a dad.
You get your final D.
He gets his D.
When kids talk for the first time, they normally say dad first because it's easier.
Yeah, that baby's saying you
as it's coming out.
Yeah, hand playing out, shoulder out. Could be a little bit hard for April.
Owi's used to some sort of unusual conditions. Like he likes popping out of some weird things.
Yep.
No, Owie will be there guiding that baby through, I reckon. He'll be getting maybe a water birth.
Could be.
Maybe
I'd be shocked if it's not a water birth.
Maybe in Kiama.
Yeah.
Because the dates kind of line up for
close,
something. Yeah, I think they're like 4 weeks away. So
it's a very baby orientated thing, the old Australian Bodysurf womp off, isn't it?
Well, we've always had in the Budgie Boys positions for every member. And the lowest member is assigned head of childcare.
Yeah.
And they've never looked after a kid in their life until now.
Yeah.
Now Bondi's got a kid.
He's got a kid as well.
Yeah.
Big Bondi.
Yeah.
He's a dad.
He's a proper DAD.
Yeah, how good's that?
Yeah. He was meant to actually do a podcast with me a while ago, but he's just so strapped with all this dad stuff.
He'll strap before dad stuff. I think good luck now.
Well, he's a big mover and shaker down at the cracker factory, so
got to make those crackers.
Yeah, he's doing all right. But did I say hello?
You did.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that's where I came in with the g'day.
That's the first dot point.
We're actually down to second dot point.
We're firing.
Yeah, always having a kid.
I wanted to bring something up that isn't on your rundown.
Ooh.
I put this on my rundown in pink.
Oh.
Which is, over the last year, I've noticed a change in your demeanour.
Come on.
You've become a bit more of a menace.
A menace?
Yeah, don't you reckon?
I reckon I've always been a menace.
It all started at Womp Camp a year ago.
At Womp Camp?
Do you remember
Womp
Camp a year ago? So 2022.
Yeah.
And I think you had a few red wines.
I would have definitely had a few red wines.
And you were talking about some NRL players and why some of them are so confident. And how they kind of have showers together and how they maybe do some initiations.
No, I was saying what the Sharks need.
I don't want to name teams or players or anything.
I was going to say what the Sharks needed to do to win a comp. And they didn't win a comp last year, so I think said thing didn't happen.
Do you think they've been doing it this year?
I think it's happened this year, and there's potentially someone that's not in the starting 17 anymore. And that's
But your theory about what they were doing in the change rooms really
I can't remember.
Intrigued me.
It's a long time ago. I remember it being very solid and sound, and I think
it wasn't.
It was. I think it has a lot of merit with it, and if you've spent some time around rugby league change rooms, I haven't played a lot, but I do like to watch the rugby league change rooms. It happens.
We're talking about footy showers, yeah?
Footy showers.
Footy showers.
Footy showers.
Footy showers.
It's footy shower.
It's a footy shower.
Mate.
What happens in the footy shower stays in the footy shower.
Footy shower's footy shower.
Yeah. Anywho, enough NRL chat because most people outside of New South Wales and Queensland don't really care about NRL rugby league.
Yeah. Sharks are a smoky. Just to finish it there. We spoke of that in the green room before. They're a smoky.
We're doing okay. We're doing okay. We don't know when this will air, so we could already be out of the comp. So Owi's having a kid. That's all taken care of. But yeah, you became a menace, I think, in my opinion, last year at Womp Camp. And it followed through for a while because when a certain team pushed the boys from East off their little perch, someone was pretty salty. And I remember getting a lot of harassment.
I think it was friendly banter. I believe it was friendly banter.
It didn't feel friendly.
Nah, it was definitely friendly.
Because I
think it was less aimed towards external entities, and it was more aimed at internal inquiries that had to take place in the team, which I believe have been sorted out this year. And if we get to it, which we will, it's looking hot in the East.
Okay, all right, we'll get to that soon. But
in the East,
as I said, the Budgie boys got third place at the Australian Bodysurfing Classic last year. Very unexpected. And the boys from the East had maintained that spot for the last few years.
I think we did it for a fair few, yeah.
So understandably, you were a bit devastated about that. But I've got this real complex because, I don't know about you, my parents never promoted their kids. You know how some parents are like, oh, little Johnny's so good at everything.
Yeah, if you're not first, you're last.
Yeah, my parents sort of just let us do our own thing.
Sure.
And no one ever thought much of us because no one was really pushing. And that's fine. That's what happens sometimes, whatever. But what I've learnt to do lately as an adult is you've got to promote yourself.
Yeah,
because no one else is going to do it for you.
Yeah.
And when we got third, I was going into work and like everyone's like, oh, how'd you go in the comp? We got third. Okay, cool. Yeah, moving on. I was like, no. I'll be putting out a group email later about how we went and how everyone performed. And
how did you perform?
Oh, I did not do that great.
How was the, I think I might have been in the old ones and twos.
Oh, yeah.
Reffing box. What's it called? Judging box there. And I think I saw a Tim of goes out there, has a nice little look around, and then swims back in. And we're like, I don't think Tim caught a wave.
I definitely caught 2 waves.
During the event?
Yes.
Or on the day?
During the event.
Okay.
That's what I always do. I'm all about getting in and getting
events.
out. Well, because I'm not in the individual part of the team comp.
Yeah. So there's the long ride.
Yeah, I did longest ride and tricks.
Okay.
And I go first and I'm in and out. So I allow the team to have maximum time in the water.
Yeah.
Because I used to be pretty quick, but I'm a bit more lethargic these days.
We're all a bit slower these days.
So that was always my little thing. My trick was I was wearing sunglasses while catching a wave.
That's not a trick. It's not a trick.
It doesn't say anywhere in the rule books that a dog can't play basketball.
True, but it's also wearing what you wear doesn't give you extra points. You going in, swim, hey, look at me, coming back in.
Well,
it's like the old, we tried to pull that with
the water polo ball. Well, I've seen Bait Bay also go for a nudie run.
Yeah, but if
so there's been some novelty tricks.
On the wave.
Yeah, sure. I was wearing sunnies on the wave.
Are they subscription sunnies though? Is this more of a technical thing?
Mate, the glare out there was insane.
It was a beautiful day though. It was a beautiful day.
So yeah, I really wanted to be like, this is our moment. And
you guys did well.
Everyone was like, oh, we're never going to hear the end of it. It's like, mate,
nor should you.
Give us a minute.
You recruited well.
Give us 1 minute.
You recruited well. You have probably one of the most core, keeps to himself. Better body surfers in Sydney, New South Wales.
Really? Okay.
Dan, Lone Wolf.
Oh, yes. A great
Dan Lone Wolf.
Great purchase in the draft.
If you have a Lone Wolf hand plane, they're probably one of the better ones as well.
Better independent custom mades.
Oh,
yeah.
The best.
I agree, although I haven't really had much of a chance to ride it. Do you know what I've been getting on lately? The skippers.
The skippers?
Man, these things fly.
Good guy, skipper.
Oh, my gosh, they're good. So I got one. And because we get a bit of gear here and there, I gave it away because I don't really use it. And then I was out. As well. I was out at Maroubra 3 weeks ago, and I was on this thing, and it was doing some damage. Oh my goodness, it was amazing. So I need to go buy another one. I shouldn't have given this away. Yeah,
Skipper Surf Crafts.
Yeah, really good gear.
Instagram.
Anyways, I just I wanted the moment, and I don't feel like we got it. And lucky we got a podcast so we could carry on here about it. But also, one of the things that got the Budgie Boys over the line, well, third place last year at the Australian Body Surfing Classic, was the fact that they took me out of the relay team.
See, now there might be a thing with me in the relay team this year.
I wanted to bring that up. The baton drop.
Yeah, so fortunately for everybody, I sprained my ankle recently, so I think my running on the beach days, I don't know if they could be numbered.
Especially in flippers.
In flippers, they could be numbered this year. Every year we watch that. I think about how much weight I've put on from the previous years as well. Nothing says you need a diet than running as fast as you possibly could. It's not very fast. In budgie smugglers along the beach in flippers. Yeah, the baton. Yep. Yeah, it felt like to me the baton. I was running. I got a good start. Great mechanics, great motion. I was ahead-ish, and then I just felt this hit out of my hand. And I was like, what has happened here? I was like, how's that happened? Got back, did what it is. And then I was like, God, someone's hit the baton out of my hand, or the hand plane out of my hand. Watch the replay. And
in super slow-mo.
Super slow-mo. Where they get those cameras from, It's the most filmed amateur sport in the world, I think. And you've got this 102 kilo, 6'3" guy running, no one around him because he's so fast. And he's just whacked the hand plane out of my hand. And it took me back to the old beach sprint days. So how I first got into the ESB team is I used to be a decent beach sprinter when I was 10 years old. And the state New South Wales beach sprint carnival, all age relay, big thing in the beach sprint, nippers world. Same thing happened. We're running, we're in a decent spot, we're doing the changeover, the most anxiety-ridden part of all relays, and it's coming towards you, hand out, got the thing out, that comes down, and then the baton just drops straight out of my hand and on the sand.
What do nippers use as a baton?
A baton.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I know sometimes they put the bit of hose.
The hose. Sometimes it's a hose, but you got to get the thicker one. Like the green hoses you would get in your normal gardens, probably that they would use for the flags. It's probably a bit too thin for a sprint relay. Or maybe they did use it that year and that's the reason I dropped it. It kind of be my fault.
There's a bit of hose going around Maroubra these days, I reckon.
Not anymore, mate.
Really?
It's you've got those retractable hoses that go all the way in, mate. It's 1.5 million for a shoebox in Maroubra. It's bougie.
Those hoses are good. We should get them on board as a sponsor.
Oh, those hoses are great.
So after watching the tape, do you think you would have placed in the Finn Sprint relay?
I'm confident that we would have beat the Budgie Boys.
Yeah, which would have put you into third and us.
Potentially.
We could have been.
Potentially. You don't know how it could have gone because there could have been pressures and other people there. No, we're probably not the greatest beach sprinters, I would say. So we're probably not even close to placing. No one really looks like they represent running. I don't think anyone in the team, other than the personal trainer we have in the team who wasn't running, runs at all, other than the quick run across the cold sands in the morning. So no, we wouldn't have placed. No way.
Okay. How do you think your chances are this year?
In the sprint relay or the overall, the ABC?
Let's go overall.
I reckon we're looking good. We've recruited very well, as you do in the East, the Moneyball team.
The sombrero of salary caps.
Yep. We don't have a salary cap in the ABC game, except for if your name is Duffin or the Cobras. But, we're getting pretty good with our big salary cap.
You think the Cobras got money?
They've got free flippers.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah, and then potentially other performing enhanced and vegan cigarettes. Yeah. But what we've done this year is we've one of your old sponsors, though it could still be a sponsor, he's been getting the boys up on a really nice vitamin regimen.
Oh, yeah. Steady Freddy.
Yep, Steady Freddy. So shout out to Steady Freddy. We're on our Steady Freddy Ball Boost program at the moment.
Is it ASADA approved?
Doesn't need to be ASADA approved. It's 100% war approved.
Okay.
So I think we're good. I think we're good. Yeah, we got some good body surfers. Like you've got Jake the Barrel Pig, you've got Paul Codor, you've got some really good young guys like Logan coming through the ranks. You got Raf, I think. Well, actually, no, he's not in our team this year. You got a couple of other really good local guys that are in the Bondi, Coogee, Tamarama stretches. They're there every day, kicking it. 6 foot, 1 foot, they're there. So I reckon we could be coming for you third place.
Is Raf in the team?
No, I don't think he is in the team. I think he likes to go the up the coast of the Stocko boys. I think normally he's a Stocko boy.
This is the hard thing, keeping up who's with who. And Bait Bay, it's always hard keeping tabs on them. We met someone at Womp Camp, which was a couple of months ago, really. And his name was Maxi.
Big Maxi. He jumped on the podcast at the end of our Womp Camp special. This guy's an absolute cracker. He's repping Bait Bay. Do you think he'll get a start? Oh, he's got to get a start. He's a good guy. He'll get start mainly on commitment and joy. I only met him at Womp Camp, but he's a good guy.
Team spirit.
Great team spirit. Interesting wine choices, which I think is great. You know what I mean? Brought some really fancy, unique little wines to the Womp Camp, which was nice.
How does he go on a wave?
I have no idea. Never seen him surf. But in spirit, he thrives. Like we're in Womp Camp in Treachery, so it's up Seal Rocks, maybe 2.5, 3 hours out of Sydney, north, in the middle of winter. You know, he was rocking in the keels only.
Yeah.
No wetsuit. So I think if you're going to go in the middle of winter in just your keels, you can hold your own.
Man, it was chilly up there as well.
It was fresh. It was nice. It wasn't too bad, though.
But the sun was out.
Sun was out. Guns were out. It was good.
I do that thing where I just stay in my steamer all day.
You were in your steamer on the beach as well, which that's just, I couldn't think of anything worse. Like seeing you walk up and down the sand dunes in your steamer. I'm the type of guy that gets changed at the edge of the beach and gets everything wet off. I'm like,
right.
if I'm walking anywhere past the steps or the little lip at the end of the beach, no, I'm not happy about it.
Are you straight on to the hooded towel, get your wetsuit off, just walk around with your budgies under your hooded towel?
No, I'm budgies off.
Yeah.
In boardies or in trackies.
Yeah.
I'm the wet off, dry on.
Our executive producer Woofo loves keeping the salt on him for the day. Do you like having a shower? Or do you keep it on you?
I prefer to have a shower because I'm not like a serial killer like Woofo. But often finding the shower in a reasonable walking distance. Like I find like if you're not surfing directly in front of the showers, walking down the beach in your sluggos is always a big day. And I'm like,
I love a cold shower after a body surf.
It is good.
There was a bit of BO going around at Womp Camp. And
Ooh. In the cabins or just generally?
Well, when we did that big podcast in my cabin, we had a few people on the couch.
There's a lot of people there.
And I dived in at the end and did the sign off, and there was something that just reeked. And I'm just wondering who doesn't like having a shower.
I would say Uga. I would almost guarantee you it's Uga.
Is it a cultural thing?
I think it's an Uga thing. I've met plenty of Serbians who shower. Quite clean people, lovely people. It's an Uga thing. More than anything else, it's an Uga thing.
Again, why? Like, I just love a shower so much.
Oh, yeah.
I probably shower too much. I'm peeling my skin off. But I love being in the water. It's so good. So, straight from the salt into the water. Who else was on that panel? It was Max, Uga, Corey, and yourself.
Yep, I think the three of us.
And during
right.
that little chat, which was kind of just the wrap up of our Womp Camp sort of podcast specially thing we were doing.
It's good to catch up as well.
Some people let rip, hey?
Ooh, yeah, I think you're still working through those legal cases. There's a executive producer somewhere sitting in the background that might have a blackmail case on the Bodysurf podcast when you guys go international and you're earning your billions. Yeah, mate. Some people said some tasty, hot things.
I think people forget because we're at Womp Camp. It's like, oh, we're just having a chat around the fire. It's like, oh, no, the mics are on, boys? Because we had to edit a lot of stuff out.
Was it just a long beep, or did you just have you just cut it? I think it was just straight cut. You couldn't even risk the beep.
Did you come to our live show?
No.
Okay, when we did the live show, we had a comedian do about 20 minutes.
Yeah, this was last year before Womp Off.
Yeah,
ABC.
yeah. So a year ago, I guess. So we had a comedian, John Cruikshank, come on, and I didn't want to put his material on the podcast. It's on the Patreon if you want to check it out. But I just did a really sneaky edit. And I did, I think, 3 different edits. So if you listen to it on the Patreon, you get to see the full thing. And then if you listen to just the audio, it's a real tidy edit. Like, you wouldn't even know. You'd think he just got up, said hello, did one joke and left. But then the video edit was clunky.
Yeah.
I had to do something.
It's harder, the video edit sometimes. You know what I mean?
The audio edit, you could really cut some stuff out really
absolutely.
easily. So we made it a bit of a decision. We don't want to get done for defamation. We're just cutting all of this rubbish out.
I always like the allegedly. You know what I mean? Allegedly.
Yeah, that would have helped Lisa Wilkins out with a bit of stuff.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
That's what I heard. I've got some good juice this week.
Yeah, if you're going to make a Logie's acceptance speech, maybe learn that word.
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't.
What, you just get up and start?
Nah, you just go.
Talking about a court case that was currently going through the courts.
I'll have to take your word for it. I don't keep up very much with my Logies pop culture. Sorry.
We watched it because a friend of mine wrote some jokes.
Oh yeah,
and
that's cool.
I wanted to see how many she got in. She got a lot of jokes in. It's a really good.
By a few different people, or
so Sam Pang was hosting.
Yeah,
so
she did a good job.
Oh yeah, and it was so I watched mainly the first half. I just wanted to see the opening monologue. See if some other things happened.
She allegedly wrote some of Sam Pang's.
I think we can put that one on the record.
Yeah,
wrote some
that makes
jokes.
sense because he's not normally that funny, and he killed it. Delivery was pretty good.
Oh yeah,
some
we
of those
not meant to
jokes were
mention
really
that
good.
there's writers.
I don't know. That's why I said allegedly.
There's writers for everything. There's writers for this podcast.
Absolutely.
So I watched it, and then my partner turned to me and was like, "Who is this for?" And it's like, it's for industry. Like,
absolutely.
Like, Woofo wanted desperately to go to the podcast awards. And again, it's like, who is that for?
You have to pay just to put things in. It's not who's the best, it's who wants to pay them.
We put together a package and sent some stuff through the first year. And we didn't get a look in. I was like, surely we're getting best sports podcasts. And then you have a look at
sports podcast.
You look at who you're up against. You're like, okay, fair call on that one. But, we don't do it for the awards, do we? You were saying before you're not a big fan of body surfing as a competitive sport.
As an individual sport, I think it's very hard. Like, I think it's like surfing to an extent, but like unless it's good and it's good conditions and it's good body surfing, and like judging body surfing is a very difficult thing. I think someone who's seen a lot of body surfing over the last few years, I think I've got a pretty good vibe on what would be considered a good wave and not a good wave. But when you go to a competition and you've got people who maybe are a little bit more confident surfing, judging surfing, and they're trying to put the same twang on that, it just sort of takes it away. Because what a trick or what a good wave or what like a nice wave body surfing is, it's very different to what you would do for surfing. You know what I mean? So if you get a wave, you get a good position, you hold your body right, you look nice and you look stylish on the wave, that's a much better wave, and it should be scored nicer than you spinning around like you've got ants on your pants and you're just trying to do something on there as well, and then doing 2 spins and falling off, where making a section, get it through, that's much better. So I think body surfing's not really one of those things that can be judged.
Wouldn't you say it's similar in professional surfing? If it's pumping, most surfers keep their line, get barreled, go straight. If it's not, they'll start pulling out some tricks. I saw a competition once where the surf was so bad, they pulled out jet skis and just said, hey, we're just going to do a toe-in comp. You guys can just do aerials or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think that's good because you can still if you do a big aerial but you don't come out of the wave or you don't make a section, you don't get points for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In body surfing, if you do 3 spins and fall off the back, you're getting more points than someone that made a section and didn't do a single spin.
Do we know this for sure? Because I would assume if you fall off the back, it's nothing. It's a 0.
From what I've seen.
Okay.
Yeah. You're in the judges' boxes a few times, and it's like, well, no, that's not actually how we should be doing it. But that's just me, my opinion. You know what I mean?
If you were to retire from body surfing, do you think you would want to be a judge?
No.
Really?
No.
I think you'd be a good judge.
I'm very good at commenting on how other people are poor. That's maybe a commentator.
Yeah. A critiquer.
A critiquer. Yep, absolutely.
Have you seen any good films lately?
Good films. I saw. I did the Barbieheimer.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I've
Pretty
heard
good.
great things.
Yeah, yeah, I like it.
I want to go and watch it in a nice cinema because it's
Yeah.
long.
I saw it in Paris.
Ooh, yeah.
Not in a nice cinema.
Was it dubbed French?
It was English with French subtitles,
Hmm.
which I'm probably in that subtitle culture where you've got subtitles on your Netflix all the time.
Mm.
So we're in Paris watching Oppenheimer, finding ourselves trying to read the French dubs. Like I'm looking at the French dubs. I'm like, well, I don't speak French. I can't even read properly, let alone read French. But it's good. It didn't really, you zone it out after a second as well. It was great. It was a good movie. I liked it personally.
Yeah. It's a weird thing to do while you're in France. Go and see a film.
It was like it was raining. It was like the last few days of the trip.
There was no French movies playing?
We should have. Let's do it.
Have you seen the film Midnight in Paris?
With Owen Wilson? No. I've seen the first 3 minutes and I was like, not for me.
One of the greatest films of all
It is?
time. And I think I've probably said this on the podcast before, it made as much money as like the first Transformers.
Oh, yeah. It's big. It's huge.
But
People
it was
like
a little film.
Yeah, yeah.
I know,
yeah.
like Woody Allen
Classic.
directed it, but it's such
a classic,
a
though,
lovely
isn't it?
film.
Yeah.
Really
I haven't
cool.
seen it.
I would like to watch that movie in Paris.
Yeah.
In French.
In French.
Yeah.
Nice. It's not a French movie.
No,
it's an English movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, an American movie.
American,
in English.
yeah. Good movie.
Great.
I rate it. Give it another go if you have a chance. But do you like critiquing films?
No, I enjoy watching films.
Yeah, you do.
I like to, have a chat with the wife afterwards.
Yes.
I'm not a big critique of films. I know a lot more about body surfing than I do about film.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy film. Like,
Okay.
I like to watch films. And
What
TV
about
shows.
food? Do you like critiquing food?
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I reckon I'm an all right cook. Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, I like especially food that I think I can cook and I eat it out.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like a steak, I can cook a very good steak.
Yeah.
Like I get into the sous videing of steaks.
Right. What's that?
So you get, here we go. It's between the sets, so we're going to get into it. So you get like a vacuum seal bag. So you get a piece of meat, yeah. So you vacuum seal bag, salt, pepper, garlic powder over the top of it. You vacuum seal it. Maybe you're going to put some rosemary in there as well. And you get your esky. You put this sous vide machine, which is probably the size of a wine bottle, and it clips onto the side of an esky or a pot or something like that. And then so you vacuum sealed it up. It's in the little baggie, and you put it in there, and you cook it for like 2 hours. Normally a good one, 54 degrees Celsius, and then it comes out, and then you get the pan like, searing hot. Throw it on one side, throw it on the other side. Get some garlic out, get some butter out, get some rosemary out, and then base that thing in there, and you just perfect.
What does it look like in the middle of the steak?
It's just pink, perfectly pink.
Perfectly pink.
Yeah, perfectly pink the whole way through. So, and it's better for the big, thick pieces of steak. Because when you try to do a big piece of steak, it goes it can be really hard to get it consistent the whole way through.
Mm.
Yeah, so I'll critique a steak or food if I eat it out. If I pay money, I'm so tight. If I pay money for food and it's really bad, I'm off it. I'm so upset about it. You know what I mean?
Are you a fan of raw steak?
Like I'll go like a medium rare to rare. Yeah.
But what about like a steak tartare?
Nah.
What about sashimi?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
I love a bit of kingfish.
Ooh, yeah. I love some salmon.
I went to a great restaurant the other night. Miss G's.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I went there years ago. Almost 8 or 9 years ago.
It's funny because a lot of people always ask, what's the best restaurant in Sydney? And I've been searching for a while.
Yeah.
I think this is it.
Miss G's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
Yeah.
And I've been to a few other restaurants that the chef sort of runs or does the menu and all that sort of stuff, but I think this one is the best.
I found a great little restaurant in Matraville, which is near Maroubra Beach. It's a Dravovnik, Croatian. Let's say Croatian. South Croatia. And it's just run by this guy and his wife, and it's like in the side of a hole in the sketchiest part of Matraville, which is a sketchy-ish place for the lower southeastern suburbs of Sydney. And it's beautiful. It was like honestly one of the best places I've ever been. I can't remember the name and I can't pronounce it because I'm bad at stuff like that. But Matraville Croatian restaurant. I'll add it to the show notes.
What sort of protein do Croatians like?
Fish.
Yeah,
it's like Italian. Italian but better.
Yeah. Have you ever had goat?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
A bit of goat's
good.
Slow cooked
goat curry.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There used to be a Nepalese place in Randwick.
Yeah,
that did a
very
really
good,
good goat
like,
curry.
Yeah, like Marrickville and all that sort of area has a lot of that sort
Sure.
of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. All right, we're killing it. We're smashing it with the shitty film chat and a bit of cooking
Long
chat.
story short, you guys didn't get sued.
Yeah, we know what we need to do, and it's just record for like 4 hours and then cut 3.5
Cut
of it.
out some of it. Yeah.
That's how the podcast
I do
works
like the
now.
long ones. Through COVID, we had the talk back, the 2GB talk back, which is two guys body surfing. 2GB, sorry, that's what that means.
Do you know why
The
I
talk
did
back
that?
section.
Because we were bored, I guess.
Absolutely.
But also, how many hours does it take to get your pilot's license? Like 100,000
You got to do
hours.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And that kind of is the same principle for anything. It takes you that long to get good at anything. Body surfing,
Absolutely.
but also podcasting, broadcasting, and it's hard to get your own show. It's hard to get on air. So if you just do it yourself, you get all the cobwebs out.
Absolutely.
And
You
then
get confident
one
with
day
it.
you might be all right at it.
Mate, Joe Rogan's been doing it for years and
Yeah.
years. You know, he'll do like 4-hour podcasts 3-4 times a week when he was in his heyday. You know, like,
He'll get there one day.
oh mate, he'll be okay one day. He might get the one spot back off Hamish and Andy
On the Australian
or the Australian podcast on a
charts.
Thursday afternoon.
Oh man, I was actually looking at radio ratings today.
The made-up radio ratings.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I don't
Every
know
3
why
months.
I'm looking. I was looking like at all metros, like Brisbane, Melbourne, Sydney, like trying to work out what's happening in Drive. And
Who's winning?
well, it's very hard because some shows are national and some shows aren't. That's what I was really surprised by.
Are they in the same category as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but like the bigger national shows have I guess a bigger budget, but also
What's radio?
they're
these
better
days?
bang for your buck.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know. It was a bit hard to sort of go through, but again, who else is going through this stuff? Who's going through the podcast numbers besides salespeople
Yeah, salespeople. Yeah, and podcasters.
and us?
Yeah,
Yeah, just
that's it.
lame nerds.
And I'm sure there's someone out there going like, "Oh, the Bodysurf podcast," you know, potentially #1 podcast in Australia. Podcast that was.
I'm really looking forward to another Bodysurf podcast coming on the scene.
I think there is one.
Really?
Maybe not in English.
Okay, that's cool.
Our mate in Brazil.
Yeah. Is it on iTunes, on Spotify?
I think
on
I saw some
SoundCloud?
SoundClouds.
Ooh,
Yep.
yeah, I love a SoundCloud.
Yep.
Nice. I'll have to check it out. Do they? Can we interpret it somehow?
I don't know. I have to send it. Add it to the show notes.
A lot of show notes.
A lot of show notes. It's always good for the show notes.
Let's get back to body surfing
Let's
because I
get
think
into it.
we've spoken about all the shit we wanted to get through. Should we talk about something that's coming up very soon?
Mate, we are moving into a really great time in body surfing in Sydney at least. You know what I mean?
Huge.
We've got some things to look forward to. And what I think is great about that is that the swell is not very good at the moment, which means if it's not good now, it'll be better later. You know, so in the next month or 2 months, really, am I right with that? Yeah, 2 months, month and a half, month.
I don't know where this is.
We could have good swell coming because it's so bad now.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I
You don't want to have good swell now because if you're having good swell now, when the competitions come, they won't be very good.
I mean, Sydney is very unpredictable.
You could just have flat surf for 3.5 months in winter.
But because we're sort of venturing out a little bit,
Oh, there we go.
we might be all right. So coming up very soon,
So the first one on the
9th and 10th of September, we've got the Festival of Froth. Now, I pre-recorded an interview with Jared Bridges a while ago,
Yep.
and it will go to air directly after this episode.
Beautiful.
So we talk a little bit about it, but when we recorded that, they were still kind of in the expression of interest stage.
Yeah.
It's all a go-ahead now.
Absolutely.
It's all happening.
If you haven't already booked into it, it's going to be held in the Northern Beaches. The Festival of Froth, who is sort of been put on by the guys that surf in the Northern Beaches as well. So really great guys. Jeremy? Yep. Is the main guy there. One of the coolest dudes. He goes to Womp Off every year. Goes to a couple of the other competitions as well.
He's been in the Womp Camp the last 2 years
Yeah,
as well.
he was at Womp Camp this year. And they've got a 2-day body surfing event that's happening on there. Day one is the inaugural Sydney International Body Surfing Association World Cup qualifier, World Championship qualifier makes more sense.
Yep.
Got the Matildas on the mind. And that should be good. Like, that will actually get you into a competition in Hawaii if you win it.
So I was trying to find out where Dylan Kelly sits, because he did very well a few years ago at one of these IBSA competitions. I think he's around 550th in the world.
Ranked. Right. Where are we?
Well,
6, 7?
We've not been into an official event yet, so I'm not sure how this event will work, because I'm not planning on going anywhere else except for Australia. I don't think I'll be competing.
Fair enough. I think he came third one year.
But at what event was that?
At the international body surfing competition in the States, in California.
Oh, he went over.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So Dylan Kelly, originally from the northern beaches of Sydney, give or take 20, 30 kilometres, currently living down the south coast. He's got a very cute little boy. I think he might have another one on the way. And he is an absolute gun of a body surfer. If body surfing was a sport you could have favourites and celebrities, DK, Big Dylan Kelly would be one of my favourites. He's built like Mario. He loves chocolate eclairs.
Mario Fennick?
No. Mario. Don't cancel me. He's built like Mario, and because of his love of chocolate eclairs, and he loves a chocolate eclair, can't go past one.
As in, like, the pastry?
The chocolate with the cream inside. Yeah, loves a chocolate
cream
eclair.
Or custard or both?
Like clean, like whipped cream.
Whipped cream and then a bit of jam, chocolate.
Just chocolate, pastry, whipped cream, pastry.
Okay.
Yeah, they're great. You know had a chocolate eclair before?
Well, there's a lot of different varieties of those sort of things.
They're long ones, it's essentially like a cake version of a hot dog, except instead of the hot dog, it's cream, and instead of your hand, it's chocolate on the outside.
What's the mustard?
Cream.
There's a lot of just the cream.
It's just cream. It's just cream, pastry, and chocolate. It's a great thing.
Okay.
You need to have a chocolate eclair. It's offensive you haven't. As a body surfer.
I'm a big fan of jam. I like
donuts?
the jam and cream. And,
Ooh,
yeah, that sort of stuff.
Do you remember the jam donut challenge back in the Big Brother days?
Jeez.
On the Friday nights when they get evicted?
That's how you get on radio.
Yeah.
You go with Big Brother.
You'd have to eat a jam donut that's covered in sugar, and you'd have to be able to eat it without licking your fingers or licking your tongue. Your mouth.
We used to play a game at youth group where you would shove marshmallows in your mouth.
What's that called?
Something
Chubby
bunny?
Bubby?
Yeah. But then a kid died.
Oh.
Yeah.
That took a really weird turn. So Dylan Kelly, great body surfer. He's done very well on the international level. He surfed places like Portugal, off the coast in Portugal, big surf in Hawaii, moves like a dolphin, looks like Mario with eclairs.
You keep saying he's a big boy.
He's not that big. He's actually pretty small. He's probably going to send me a message going, come on, bro, what did I do? Really nice guy. Actually, one of the nicest people you'll see out there as well. So if he's competing, he would be a smoky for me to take the thing. Absolutely. There's going to be some very good body surfers at this thing.
So it's in Avalon.
Avalon.
Do you think he'll make the trip?
I think his parents live in Avalon.
Great.
Or more or less around there. I bought a hand plane off his sister once. Weird story. Facebook Marketplace.
What hand plane?
A war. Yeah, a wooden war.
Secondhand war.
Yeah, secondhand war. Mate, they last forever. Well built.
Before you had the discount code.
You know what? I didn't know I had the discount code, but it was in the... Actually, I don't think I have a discount code.
There's a few discount codes going around.
Anyway, that's right. I support Ricky. So he's very good. I think he's very good. I think Ricky and the war people are at Tasmania this week surfing some big waves.
Wow.
I know it's not on the run sheet. I mentioned it before.
Be chilly there.
But they're surfing, or they're going to attempt to surf Shipman's Bluff down at the bottom of Tasmania. Have you heard of that before?
No, but it's always good to see some body surfers doing a bit of an international trip.
Yeah. So it's Ricky and then a girl from the North New South Wales called Caitlin going. Just the two of them, I think. And Shipman's Bluff would be the hydrogen bomb if Cape in Kurnell was your general atom bomb.
Wait, is Ricky going or Corey?
No, Ricky.
Ricky, okay.
No, I don't think Corey's there. Corey's not good enough to surf like that. So I'm pretty sure it's Ricky and Caitlin. I wouldn't say Corey would be able to do that.
Is Caitlin going to be surfing in some of these events coming up soon?
I think she might be.
Yeah, awesome.
She's another one to look out for. She's sort of, I think she competed in. Oh, I've lost the name of it, but she's competed this year. I think she's been around the traps. I believe she beat Ricky of Wall Handplanes fame in one of the competitions as well. She's got a great story. I think you might have met her at Womp Camp. She was there.
Okay.
But she found flippers on the beach, like some stealth flippers on the beach, and that's what she was competing in, and she's beating half the boys, so she absolutely rips.
That's awesome.
Definitely one to keep a lookout for.
Nice stuff. So we've got that coming up very soon. I'm going to be competing in that. You're not going to be there?
Not yet. I'll be there. I'll definitely be there.
Be there.
Yep, I'll be
Just
there with
hanging.
the big ESBS,
Just-
East Sydney Bodysurfer tent.
Just
with the
loitering
cold
around.
drinks. That's it. The ankle's been off. The swimming's a bit down. As I mentioned before, I'm not a big, single body surfer event guy. Love my team sports.
Okay.
So I'll be there just heckling people.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. So if you come third, mate, I'll be giving it to you.
Hot tip, I will not be coming third. I, as a joke, was like, wouldn't it be so funny to be like 200th in the world? And then I found out
This
that
isn't
Dylan
ranked.
Kelly was 500th. I'm
Oh.
like, well, I don't think I'm even going to be breaking the 1,000.
Body
So-
surfing rankings, if that's a thing, that's a big day. I don't know how I feel about body surfing rankings.
Imagine if they created a Tony Hawk style body surf video game.
It would be good.
EA Sports, put some money behind the sport. Who would you be playing as?
Well, Dylan Kelly,
Yeah.
obviously. Oh, but you would
Is
have
he
to
our
have.
Tony Hawk, or we've obviously got the Hawaiians.
You got the Hawaiians. You got the
Mark
Americans.
Cunningham would be in there.
You got Starkey from California, the Yuckers.
Mm.
He's got great. Dan Valen. Probably got that name wrong. Hawaiians. Who's our Australian ones? Who's the Australian contingent?
Mike Stewart.
Mike Stewart, absolutely. Guy Butcher for the UK.
Oh yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
cool. Who's the Bam Margera of body surfing?
Bam Margera of body surfing. I don't think body surfing's nearly as cool as that. It'd have to be a Cobra, though.
Oh yeah.
They've got some Bam Margera vibes about them.
Have you ever watched the tension bodyboarding films?
Yes.
Similar to Jackass, really,
Yeah,
but it was
absolutely.
body instead of skating, it was bodyboarding, and they
Yeah.
would go around and do pranks and
It's Raph.
stunts and stuff.
It's Raf. I think it's Rafael, the Brazilian with the body that does not quit.
I've only just met Raph.
You've only just
recently.
met Raf?
Top bloke. Love the guy.
Huge personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, really awesome guy.
Has he got your number yet?
We WhatsApp.
You WhatsApp?
Yeah.
Yeah. He'll
Yeah.
text you now every time the surf's on.
Yeah, he has. We've only been out twice, but
That's good.
We've had a good time.
I think actually on that of Maroubra Body Surf fame, where Raf is and I surf with Raf at Maroubra, I think you've just been added to the Maroubra
Ooh,
Body Surf
that would
WhatsApp
be-
chat.
That'd be very exciting because I'll tell you what, the Budgie Boy chat sucks.
This chat's only good when there's surf.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's been flat and so has a chat. But if there's any surf on, it's good.
I've been a bit more strategic and just messaging people individually for surf. So
Yeah.
I've had a good surf with Lone Wolf. I've had a good surf with Raph. I was trying to get Bondi out desperately. I was trying to get you out the other day. I'm just going one-on-one. I think it's a lot
Yeah, fair
more
enough.
efficient.
Yeah, it's good. The benefit of the Maroubra chat is that there's almost always someone that goes down to the beach every morning. So if you think there is
Every
going
morning
to be
or every
pretty much
Saturday?
every morning. So if you think you might want to go for a midweek Sunday swim down there, someone would have already checked it out because so many of the guys live near the beach or their morning routine is going past the beach.
Well, that's what happened. Raph was sending me photos, and I'm like, hey, man, I just got here. And he's like, okay, I'll leave now. I was like, I thought they were your photos. He was sending me someone else's
Something else. So you need to be in the
photos.
chat. That's it. Absolutely.
This chat sounds great.
It's great. It's very
looking
good.
Forward to it. So yeah, I'm also looking forward to the what is it called? The Festival of Froth.
Festival of Froth.
What a great name.
I'm
They've
very
got it.
excited for it. I think he's done a really good thing there. So on the Saturday, that's going to be the International Body Surfing Association World Championship qualifiers. So that's going to be the Opens. And then...
I think Guy stupidly signed up for that one.
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
Should I have gone on day 2?
You probably should have gone on day 2. That's where the vibes are going to be. You're going to have a few more people there. But on the day 2, on the Sunday, and we're probably going to get this all wrong and have to come back and re-record. But that's actually introducing the ignore. Why would you put words like that in the chat?
I copied and pasted,
Mate,
bro.
we can't say that word on live. Inaugural. There we go. Northern Beaches Body Surfing Inc. competition. So that's going to be the fun event. That's where they've got a few sponsors on board, and they look like they've done an absolutely awesome job. I'm going to be so excited for that because there's going to be age groups. They're going to have there's a girls event. There's some older guys, younger people in there as well. So that will be the day to do. But if you're around Avalon, go both days.
Well, I'll be going both days because I have no idea what I've signed up for. But I'll be going just to watch anyway. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Leading into that, the next weekend, this is insane. We've got like a really big comp happening at Avalon, an individual comp. The next weekend is the biggest team event in Australia, the only team event in Australia, the Australian Body Surfing Classic, formerly known as Wompoff.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about this. It's at Kiama.
So good.
Down
so
the south coast. Oh my goodness. Now, it was there a couple of years ago. It was down the south coast
that was
a couple of years ago.
before I knew about it.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see it sort of go back
You
to
got some
its
accommodation
roots.
booked?
No, my sister lives in Coniston, kind of near Wollongong, so I can always crash there.
Yeah.
I just drive everywhere
Fair
these
enough.
days. I'll
Yeah.
just come home, whatever. I don't think I'll be that exhausted.
That exhausted? Fair enough. Well, 2 swims, 2 waves. That's the day. You know what I mean?
To be fair, I'm trying to get out of it. So if anyone wants to surf for the Budgie Boys, you can have my spot.
There's a Budgie Boy spot, is there?
I'll pay for it. I'll sponsor you.
Ooh.
You just got to be an elite athlete.
An up-and-comer?
Yeah, anyone.
Yeah, beach sprinter preferred.
Well, that would be nice.
Cody Simpson, I think he's got some free time these days. Didn't make the Australian team.
What style of swimming does he do? Butterfly.
Yeah,
Butterfly is such a weird.
Huge, hey.
Like you've got.
They're the hot boys in butterfly though.
They are. They've got big upper bodies.
Oh God.
Little long legs. Yeah. We've had a few good Australian butterfly swimmers, and they're it's a unique style. I sometimes do it as a laugh, just in the pool to see
It's
how
hard
it goes.
to do.
So
oh
hard.
my God. And you're just like, it's a full body thing. So if you're doing more than 50 meters, and I think they're 100-meter butterfly boys, it's a lot. You know what I mean? Your lungs are burning, your legs are burning. I don't know how they can do it.
When I learnt how to body surf, I was on a school camp at the farm, and
I was going to ask about this.
we were just.
Where'd you learn? How'd you do it? Where did you do it?
My music teacher took a few of us out just for a swim, and we didn't have gear, so we were just sort of in our boardies or whatever. We jumped in the water. The farm break's kind of more of a longboard break.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
there was some shoreys coming through, and
Yep.
we were just jumping on it.
Rare.
And he was like, don't bother paddling too much. Just do 2 strong butterfly strokes, and you'll just go straight
Once you're on
down
it, you're
the
on
wave.
it. And
Yeah.
that's the magic of body surfing.
And I sometimes pull that little trick out occasionally. It doesn't always work, but it is fun when it does work. Is that a trick? Can I use that?
You can do that. If you do a big butterfly off the start, you're going to get a point off that. That's a
Okay.
nice style to get into it, you know what I mean? And then if you can figure out how to maybe do a spin, even though I'm not a big spin fan, then you've got like a 4 to 5 going onto it. And then if you just kick, and make yourself a section or do a little bit of a cut back or just throw your fins in the air, the back of your fins in the air, you're looking at a 6 to a 7. And that is a solid score.
Maybe you should get into coaching.
Now, I can coach. If you I can coach, absolutely. If you want to be coached in body surfing, I will do it. I charge a lot of money, but it's worth it. Like, I think if you want to be at the elite level,
I think
I'll
South Sydney
absolutely
are
help
looking
you.
for someone.
South Sydney, as in the Rabbitohs? Yeah, well, can't help them.
So Wompoff's happening on...
Now, that's is that on the Saturday?
Saturday the 16th of September, so a week after the Festival of Froth. And this is going to be huge. This is Ricky's big thing. War Handblades are putting it all together. You know how it works.
Absolutely.
We've been covering this for years, but it's going to look a bit different. Maybe not as many internationals, maybe some new teams,
Yep.
maybe some old teams coming back.
I think there's definitely some new teams in there, so that's going to be exciting. So if you're new, welcome.
We spoke a bit about this at the start of the podcast, but you boys are looking all right.
I think we're looking very good. Yeah, we've got a couple of the new recruits. We so in East Sydney Body Surfers, so we go from Bondi essentially to Maroubra. We've done it in a way where we've now got a sort of a subgroup, which is the Maroubra Body Surfers. And if you're good enough in there, you get promoted into the competition arm.
It's
which
the
is
Newtown
ESBS.
Jets. What's
Maroubra
the
is
feeder club for the Roosters? Or do you have a Roosters New South Wales Cup team?
Oh, I have no idea. I'm a Sharks fan through and through. Roosters don't have junior teams.
Yeah, they
Yeah, the development team for the Roosters is the South Sydney Rabbitohs. That's a very good joke if you know NRL.
I think it's a great idea what you're doing with that. And
Yeah.
I think Bay need to do something similar if they're not already doing it.
Yeah.
Because they've got so many members.
Yeah, so I think we're good. But very excited for the Australian Bodysurf Classic. I think if you're going down, if you haven't booked yet, go for the weekend. Like, try to knock off Thursday afternoon. Go stay down in Kiama on the Friday. You obviously want to stay down there if you can on the Saturday. And then you'll probably also get a good surf on the Sunday with everyone around. Because, like, Kiama is like, it's a destination event, I would say. I think if you can make it. Because I think Friday, there's going to be lots of people that are down there. We're going to have some like pretty fun pre-womp off the Australian Bodysurf Classic surfs. I think there's like near the farm, there's a unnamed surf break that
We mention it all the time.
Oh, okay. I don't want to get bashed for naming a surf break. You know how they are. And I think the day before Womp Off, that could be one of the all-time fun body surfing spots.
Are we talking about a little wedge break that works?
We're talking a little bit of a wedge break that works.
Yeah, we talk about that a lot on the
We do.
Bodysurf podcast. I didn't know it was a secret.
Oh well, secret spots. You know how those South Coast people compete with their
and
surf
the
spots.
South Coasters are back. Yeah, the South Coast body surfers
They are
back.
Yeah.
I've heard.
Ooh.
I've heard they put a team in.
All right. How good's that?
I've heard they're back on the Instagram. I heard they're doing some cool things.
You got some great body surfers down there.
Exactly.
That's great. They put some good people. Great people. Really nice people.
Mm.
Yeah, I like them. They, never respond to my messages when I say, hey, I'm down here. Let's go for a surf. But, that's okay. I normally say, hey, I'm at the beach. Where are you? But,
Yeah, I think that's more on you, bro.
Yeah, it might be.
So I think we've covered everything there. Next week, right after this, I'm going to post it straight away. So this is between the sets.
Great.
Back to regular programming from now. We've got Jared Bridges on the podcast coming up right after this. It's like what Rove used to do, like after the OC.
It's going to be the same day or the next week?
I think I'll just put it up as soon as possible. As fast as my internet can upload it.
All right. How exciting.
So Jared Bridges on the podcast. Some of it might be a bit dated because we did record it a little while ago, but it's a great chat. I think you'll really like it. If you don't know much about Jared Bridges, young bloke, got into body surfing when he was around, I think 16, because he
that sounds about right.
hitchhiked his way to Womp Camp with Corey Sainsbury. So a really cool story there. And then after that, we're going to have comedian Rowan Neal, who is a good friend of Dylan Kelly.
Oh, have you already interviewed him?
No, I haven't done that. We're doing that soon in a few days.
Give him my Mario eating an eclair.
I will bring
bit,
that up.
And I think he'll laugh about it. You know what I mean?
So Rowan,
he can use that.
Rowan's a really great comedian. Grew up, I think, out north. Bit of a surfer dude, but he's doing his first big solo show at the Sydney Fringe Festival very soon, so he'll be on to promote that talk a little bit.
Does he get in the water?
Yeah. I think he's been down at Tama lately, just looking at some groms and trying to show them up. Yeah,
right. Body surfing?
Nah, I think he's on the stand up.
Oh, he's a
real surfer.
Traditional. Whoa, real surfer, mate. We're putting our bodies on the line. We are surfing with our God-given talents, our features. That's real surfing. Now, you do 6-foot waves going down with nothing but a pair of kills and a piece of plastic or wood. You're doing well. That's real surfing.
Where are these 6-foot waves you speak of?
Maybe not me, but, but people have done it before.
But I'm
That'd be good.
I'm very excited. Apologies from Oe. He wishes he could be here, but
All the best
He's
to Oe.
pretty
Absolutely.
busy. We'll get him back on to co-host as soon as he's available to do that. I hope you're doing all right, mate. Maybe he'll call in or something. I'm not sure.
We'll get him there one day. Yeah.
But he's planning on being at Wompoff.
Oh,
And
he'll be there.
It's the due date.
He'll be there.
It's the due
Yeah.
date, I'm pretty sure.
That baby's either coming on Wompoff or 2 days after Wompoff.
Okay.
Well, to be
Should we get
fair,
a market on this?
I reckon if you really think about it, how often has Oe ever been on time? Never.
But this thing's
He's
only
never on
going to
time.
be half O'Donnell.
Right. And yeah, April does seem like a person that would be on time.
She's a bit more
often.
punctual.
Absolutely. No, I reckon it's late.
We'll see how they go.
Yeah.
We don't know the gender of the baby yet either.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I did let them know that they could name it Robbie.
Yeah?
Yeah, I spoke to them at Wom Camp and I said, look, I've had a lot to think about. You're more than welcome to name the child Robbie. Either gender works, I think.
Robbie? Yeah, definitely. I think it's a
R-O-B-B-I-A.
cute girl name.
I would accept with a Y.
Robert?
No, just Robbie.
Robbie.
Yeah, straight Robbie.
Are you just Robbie?
Straight Robbie.
Really?
Yep, absolutely.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Because I'm
IE.
just a Tim, T-I-M. That's it.
That's more unique, I think.
Yeah. But I don't mind.
Tim's nicer, though, than Timothy.
I don't mind if people call me Timothy. It doesn't,
Yeah?
it doesn't- you know how some
Timothy?
Timothys are like, no, just call me
I don't
Tim.
like Robert, though. Because
But-
Robert and Robbie are very different names.
Yeah, if that's not your name.
You know
it's
what
not
I
your
mean?
name.
Yeah, if
It
my
just-
name was
yeah.
just Rob and people called me Robert, I could probably get there.
It just doesn't bother me. You call me anything. But that's really cool. I don't think I've ever met someone called Robbie.
Yeah.
I did not know that. That's fun.
Thank
That's
you, man.
really fun.
Appreciate it.
Your parents are sick.
It was after Robbie Kearns.
Who's that?
Played for Sharks
Oh, really?
and Australia.
Robbie
and then Melbourne.
Kearns.
Yep.
What,
Back rower.
what year?
1994, when I was born.
Uh,
Yeah. And Danny Lee, he was a winger. Robbie Lee,
what year was that?
1994. Yeah.
See, I'm trying to figure out when I started watching, because I'm a little bit older than you. I was a big fan of Colin Best.
Ooh, big bestie. Big bestie.
All right, we got to get out of here.
Oh,
before this
all right,
turns
let's
into
go.
A shitty Hello Sport ripoff. Thank you so much for tuning back in. I know we've been all over the place, but I promise you things are back on track. We got to get out of here, do it all again real soon. But for now,
Remember, it's always overhead when you're body surfing. You.